So the big question is, what's next? I just finished watching a compilation of people talking about being unemployed, um, the length of time they were unemployed, not knowing what they're going to do now that they're unemployed, and the struggles that come with being unemployed. And they had a lot of questions, a lot of confusion, and I get it because I've experienced it a couple of times. But the second time I became unemployed, I found myself in that situation for almost a year to the date. So I understand when you don't know when the next opportunity is coming, when you're sitting in confusion because you don't even know like why you were even selected to be in that situation, because that's the whole thing as well. You can go, many people go through the why me, and then, or until you get to the point where you can say or ask yourself, why not me? I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And sometimes that's all we have. We don't have anything more, deeper than that, than this is my current circumstances. And I have to accept that this is what happened, but I do not have to accept sitting in a place where I'm just stagnant, where I'm feeling lost, where I don't feel motivated. Like, all of those are a choice. And it's a conscious effort that we have to make to be more action oriented, to do things maybe that you've never done before. Because what I'm finding that, when you're in a situation to where things are kind of different than what they used to be, you're going to have to do things differently than what you used to do. So a lot of people, they're interested in content creation, but as a subscriber, a supporter of the next person. But I always felt like everyone has a story. If you've been living pretty much any amount of days and you're able to have a social media account, you have a story, you have something to talk about. We all have a perspective. So that very thing that may be that different thing, it might just be getting on some type of social media platform and talking about it. Talking about whatever you may be going through. If you did lose a job, talking about like how that feels. Because a lot of times I always feel like, and I say it a lot, in any of my content, that your tribe will find you. And it's not about you looking to the right or the left, trying to see who's there. They're going to find you. They're going to find you. So these are scary times for many people. But I will say that the best bet is to step out of your comfort zone and to do something you've never done before, to do something different. And I know a lot of us have, or a lot of people have had these jobs and they've done the same thing over and over again. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's all they know. But just because that's all you know, that doesn't mean that's all there is. Just because that's all you know, that does not mean that is all there is. Bet on you. Bet on you. So when I say bet on you, that means that if you were able to put forth the effort and the energy to help build another woman's empire, guess what? You can do that for yourself. Right now, a lot of people don't have jobs, but guess what? They do have time. Like the saying goes, I got time today, because a lot of people have time. But I understand a lot of people live in fear as well. And what I've come to learn in my 44 years of living is that fear will get you nowhere. But we all experience it at some point in life. It just comes down to how long are you willing to let that stop you from your next move? How long are you willing to let that stop you from your next move? No better time than now, right? Everything starts in the mind. Thoughts become things. And it's time that we start moving out of faith and not the vision, like not the physical of what we're seeing. Okay, I'm seeing on paper unemployment, but you can have faith that there are bigger and better things to come. And you can believe in that. And once you change your mindset and start thinking that way, guess what? Things are going to start to show up that way. Because remember, it started with you having this mindset of, okay, I'm not seeing these big numbers with a lot of zeros in my bank account, but I have faith that it's going to happen. I have faith. I don't even know how, child. And I like to say the how is not your business, is not my business. You just got to put it out there in the atmosphere and let it do what it do. It's not your business. Your business is to have faith, put your requests out there, and then you receive it when it comes. Don't be caught up in the details on how you get it. Don't do that. Don't be caught up in, oh my God, this blessing is coming, but I don't like that it's coming for her, coming from her, or I don't like that it's coming for him. Mm-mm. Don't do that. Don't do that. As long as it's legit, that's your blessing. Asking you shall receive. So I want to leave with you having the understanding that your current circumstances is not the period in your life. Right now, that you're in a phase, a chapter, you're still writing your book. As long as we have breath in our lungs, we're still a work in progress. So anything is possible. There's still more to come. You just have to have an understanding that that's how life works. Where they say when one door closes, another one opens. Everything happens for a reason. So I know what it's like when you have that door closed and you're sitting in confusion as to why. Oh, I get it. Oh, I so get it. I get it. But it comes a point where you have to move beyond that with looking for the reason behind why you're in a situation and start thinking about how to move away from that situation. And some of you may say, well, Sheik, I don't understand, what my next move should be. I don't know my purpose. I need help. Let's start with you being real with yourself and asking yourself, what am I good at? And how you know what you're good at is when everyone around you recognize you for that particular thing. Just stop and think, what is it that people just know you for? Where they like, okay, I'm in need of this. I'm I'm about to hit Kim up. I'm about to hit David up. Like, because everyone has their thing that they're known by. Even if your thing is to give advice. That was my thing. And that's what prompted me to go to school and further my education and get my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. Clinical mental health counseling, because I was the go-to person for just fixing just people's stuff. People got stuff going on, but I was the first person that they would call on to help with that. So that it became apparent that that was my thing. Another way to help you to understand what your thing is to just go within. And this is what I did even around that time. I remember asking, because I do believe in a higher power. I remember asking the good Lord to reveal to me what my gift was. And it didn't take long for it to be revealed that my gift was to counsel, to teach. And so once that was dropped into me, into my soul, it's like everything in my life started to line up where I was being placed in opportunities, placed in situations to where I was that go-to person in my church, when it came to the youth, in my job, working with, fellow co-workers. And like I said, eventually I went to school and got a degree in it because I was on the path of becoming a therapist and setting up my own shop. But here's the thing about life. So I did all that education. I said, I'm gonna have me a shop. I'm gonna set up a shop. I'm gonna have my little couch that people can come and lay on and just feel it all. But then I got to a point where I said, that's not how I want my service to look. I don't want to reach people through booking appointments and them coming and lying on my couch. I just no longer desire to help people in that way. I like to help people who I come encounter with just by just walking in the park, moving into a neighborhood, having a neighbor who is sharing some personal things with me about herself, her children, working at a company where someone's sharing personal things with me about their family, about their grandchildren. So I came to learn that even though I don't have an office set up where someone's coming laying on my couch, I'm still doing that very thing that the Lord put in my heart to say, hey, sis, this is your calling. I'm still doing that very thing that I went to school to get a lot of education for. I counsel, I help people every day, but I do it in a way that I would have never thought I'd be doing it. I still counsel. I do it every time I get on social media and I create content. I counsel. I help people. I guide. I I help people gain an understanding of the things that are going on that they like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. I get it. But sometimes some people have a way of explaining what had happened was like some people can kind of put that into words and explain it and break that ish down. That's what I have the gift to do. What's your gift? I challenge you to stop, to go within, have some quiet time, and ask your higher power. And if you don't believe in a higher power, I would say highly suggest that you start and ask that higher power, what is my gift? Reveal to me what my gift is. And when that gift is revealed, you next ask for a way that can be that where you can have a career centered around that gift. And if you no longer desire to work for someone, you put that out there too. You put that out there too. You ask how you can utilize that gift in a way to where you can make money for yourself. Bet on yourself. Like I said, you can build a next man's empire. Guess what, boo? You can build yours. And that's what I've told myself. And that's what has me up late at night, putting in work, working on myself. Because during the day, if I can help build somebody else's empire from a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, what excuse do I have to not do that very thing for myself? Like, really think about it, y'all. I always say this shit ain't that deep. Really think about it. Think about them overtime hours, all that extra shit that you do for that next man. Your ass, your back be goddamn tired, your neck stiff. You like, what the fuck? I'm ready to go home. We ain't even talk about the long commuters like myself, living in Metro Atlanta. We ain't gonna even go there. But if you know, you know. Bet on yourself. Seize these moments where you can spend an hour or two working on something that's for you, to better you. And if the ultimate goal is to let that damn job go, then make it do what it do, boo. That's what it's about. That is what it's about. For those of you who do have jobs or just lost a job and got a severance, do these things, because the beautiful thing about being able to say you don't have a job, but though you still got some income coming in, that means that you have time to invest in yourself while you have some type of income coming in. Take advantage of that, because you know what? That income, say the government workers who got the 8 months, pay that they'll get paid through like the end of the year, that time is going to go so fast. It's going to go so fast. This is the perfect time for those people to do these very things. Go within. Try to gain an understanding of what their purpose is. So therefore, their next job can be centered around that. So therefore, this situation that they're in, it can likely never happen again. Why? Because they're taking charge of their life, their future. That's what it's about. You got to get creative. You got to get out your way. I was just telling someone today, when we were talking about jobs and talking about just AI taking over. And I said, you know what? Stop living in fear. You're always on the internet listening to somebody else's content, being a moderator, doing all of that. Create your own. Have a faceless channel. It is a thing, y'all. What I've come to learn is whether you show your face or not in your content, and particularly on YouTube, it has no bearing on your successes. It's about your content, your messaging. What are you coming to the internet with? And are people here for it? If people are here for it, they're here for you, whether they see what you look like or they don't. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Do your research. But this message is for the person who needed to hear it today. And I felt compelled to come out here and to say this because a lot of people are in a place of confusion. And when people are in a place of confusion, a lot of times it leads for them to do reckless things. People start to spaz out. They lose control. Y'all, remember I told y'all my background is clinical mental health counseling. Confusion is not where it's at. A lot of chaos, it's rooted in confusion. People being confused. So we got to deal with that. And this message is centered around just putting that at ease to help people to better understand what's happening and how just because this is happening to you, this does not have a bearing on who you are as a person and your value and your abilities and your gifts and your assignment. None of that. This is just a season. This is a season. This could be your message that, you know what, I've been saying I ain't like this job anyway. This could be your message that it was time to move on and do something else. It can be your message that it was time to start that business that you've been putting off for just eons. How many of y'all, that's y'all story, where you know you've been saying, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, and you still haven't done it because you're so caught up in everything being lined up perfectly. You just don't understand. I started my YouTube channel. I started as a content creator on YouTube in like 2020 on probably a different channel that I'll post this video on. So I started then, and there were a lot of people who were really motivated by me, and their story was, I want to do that, but I'm waiting on my camera to come. I'm waiting on my equipment to come, or I got to have a setup. But you know what? The day I decided to get on YouTube, there was no thought like that went into it. I literally turned on my iPhone and I started recording and I posted the video. It was a pre-record. It wasn't even live. And so what happens is a lot of times we'll get caught up in just the details of things to where, you know what? We never even start because we didn't got caught up in all the details of trying to have all your ducks in a row to where we never start. And think about how much time has passed with some of these ideas that some of you have had to where it's just like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I got to get this first. And I ain't got enough money for that, but I need to make sure my lighting, child, everybody on this light night, my lighting got to be together. I got to wait. I can't do it. It ain't time. And now 5 years have passed, and guess who still has not done a damn thing? You haven't done a damn thing. You haven't done the damn thing. You haven't done the damn thing. But that's how it is. So I get it. And sometimes it's about not getting caught up in the details like that and just doing it. Just do it. Like I like to say, I live like, the Michael Jordan Nike slogan, just do it. Because a lot of times that's what it's about, just doing it, just executing. Keep that in mind. Don't get caught up in all those details. Just do it. If you feel it in your soul that you're supposed to be doing something, just start somewhere. I promise you the rest will fall in line. If it's centered around resources, when people see what you're doing, they like, bet. Okay, I want to support that. I want to support that. What's your next thing you want to do? Oh, well, I want to probably, get a bigger space to it. You know what? I got a contact and, he was just telling me that space he about to relocate. So that means that space he in, it's about to become available. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when we start changing the way we think, things start lining up. And when we start kind of putting in action and doing these little things, these little tasks, resources start coming out of nowhere. Have you ever experienced that, y'all, where you like, man, I want to do this. I want to start this little business. And then next thing you know, you get into a conversation with someone and it's centered around that very thing. And it's like, wow, well, damn, I guess I got a customer. So let me keep this going because I done told them that I'm working on this business. They done got juiced. Now they talking about I'm going to call my mom. I'm going to tell her because I know she going to want to participate. Oh, let me call my daddy. When you say your launch day, you see how the excitement gets you going? Because you started to put things in place. You started to speak it in existence, put it out there. You started to believe. How about that? You started to believe. Today is the day. Today is your day. Always bet on yourself.